Hello everybody and welcome back to the Monster Madness YouTube channel where we talk all things spooky. Today we are going to go ahead and do another card trick, so let's get right into it.
You are now watching Sam's Monster Madness.
Okay, so for this trick you're going to go ahead and just start off by giving the cards a shuffle. Just like that, and then you're going to have the spectator select a card just like that. That is going to be their card. You're going to go ahead and they can really place it anywhere in the deck they want to. We're just going to go ahead and put it right there. We're just going to go ahead and give the cards a shuffle and a cut, and we can give it one more shuffle, kind of like that, and another cut. And just for good measure, we'll go ahead and give it one final cut. And then we're going to go ahead and do something called the sloppy shuffle, which is basically essentially just going like this and just mixing the cards face up and face down, just like that. So that way we can go ahead and mix the cards even further. Okay, so now as you can see, we have face to back cards, we have face to face cards, and we also have back to face cards as well. So we're gonna go ahead and just take that, and this trick would be really hard if I didn't have powers to rewind the deck and go back in time. Because now if you take a look at the entire deck, one card is face down and the entire deck right here, and this card happens to be your selected Ace of Spades. Now let's get right into the tutorial. So this kind of trick would be impossible if it weren't for something called the stripper deck. It could also be performed with the regular deck. I will go ahead and show you that after. But this is a normal bicycle deck of cards, except it is modified in one very small way. If you take a close look at the cards, you can actually see that there is a taper along the side. They actually took and cut the edge of the card right here. You can barely tell from a distance, but that means when you take a card and reverse the order, it is extremely easy to find. So easy that it just sticks out just the slightest bit, so you can go ahead and just take and slide it right out of the deck, just like that. So you can see I just took the Ace of Spades and slid that out, okay? And you can shuffle the cards as much as you want, as long as you don't shuffle them like this into each other, because then that's just gonna create a bunch of cards that are just gonna be able to come apart just like that. So you're just going to go ahead and just make sure they are facing the same direction. You're just going to go ahead, you give as many shuffles and cuts as you want, and then you're just going to go ahead and have them take a free selection just like this, and you can have them look at it. In this case, we got the 8 of diamonds, and then while they're doing that, you're going to go ahead and reverse the deck just like this. So now when they place their card in, they can place it anywhere. Now their card is in backwards, so you can see you can, again, strip it out of the deck. Just like that, okay? So now you can go ahead and, as long as you keep everything in the same order, shuffle the cards just like this. Just give them a couple shuffles. Give it a cut. And you're gonna wanna end with a cut. You're gonna wanna end by just running your thumb down, feeling for the card that sticks out, and just cutting that. That will bring their card right to the top, okay? So at this point, you're gonna go ahead and say, I'm gonna take this a step further by mixing the cards into each other like this, okay? And if you wonder how I did that, really, you're not mixing the cards at all. All you're doing when you do that is just taking a section of cards, pushing them off, flipping it, pushing them off, flipping it, and they're actually going the same direction, you see? Like this. And then when I do back, they're gonna go the same direction again. So you're not really shuffling the deck of cards when you do this, not really mixing them up, but you wanna do this quite fast so they don't understand what you're doing, and you don't wanna show them this card, because the last card in this pile is going to be their card. So you're just gonna do it back like this to them so they can't see. And then you're just gonna wanna, when you get to the final card, which is gonna be their card, you're just gonna wanna go ahead and just place that right on top of the whole thing. Just like that, but you don't want them to see that, so hide that. And then you can go ahead and take this and place it down right there. And now what that has done, that has set you up to do this next part. You can go ahead and say, well, now as you can see, I have some back to face cards by taking just the top portion of the deck off. You can take the lower portion and say, then I have face to back decks, and then cards, and then you can go ahead and run your fingers, because it's a stripper deck just like this, and that will separate the middle right there. And then you can go ahead and say I have face-to-face cards. And then when you do this, all you're doing is just taking these and setting them down and saying you have face-to-face cards, and then taking this one, which has their card on the back, and just sticking it right on top like that. Okay? And what that sets you up for the rest of the trick. So all you have to do is rewind the deck and spread them out face up, so that way you can see that there's one face down card, and that is always going to be their selected card, the 8 of diamonds. So I can now go ahead and show you how to do the same trick with a normal deck of cards. So here's the tutorial with the normal deck of cards. The only thing different with this one is you're just gonna have to do everything that I showed you just now, except you're just gonna have to get the card up to the top without shuffling the deck. Okay, so basically what you're gonna wanna do is take the cards, and these are normal cards, just give them a shuffle to start, have them select their card, and you can do one of many methods. I'll give you a couple to get their card to the top. Now this happens to be the Ace of Spades as well. What you're gonna do, so this is a good method. You can take about a third of the cards off, set it down, have them put it on top, and then you're gonna go ahead and take this like this, keeping a gap here. You're just gonna take the bottom, the tip of your finger, put it there, and then your thumb is actually gonna make something called a thumb break right there. And then you're just gonna stick your finger so there's still a gap in there. You see how there's a gap? So you actually have a gap where their card is, because their card is actually right here. The Ace of Spades is right here. Okay, and that is the gap that I was talking about that you're gonna keep, okay? And then you're just gonna go ahead and take a portion of the top pile off. Then you're gonna take all the way down to your break off. So this card is theirs. And then you're gonna do that, and that will bring it up to the top. And then you could just do a riffle shuffle, just like this, keeping this card on top. So you're gonna make sure you're gonna have to end with the pile that is on top. So you could go ahead and just make sure you go like this, but then make sure you end with their card on top. Okay, that's all you wanna do different, because then the card is on top, and then you're set up to do the rest of the trick the same as the last one. But to help with this trick a little bit, what you can go ahead and do is actually bend the cards before you start, just like this, so you get a little bit of an arch to the cards. So that way when you do this, right, and you shuffle the deck, you can go ahead and say select your card, right? They pick it, you give the cards a bend while you do that, and they're gonna pick the 8 of Spades. You're just gonna go ahead and do the third thing, put it there, and then take off portions of cards, take off towards the break, and then that will get it to the top. And then you see that bend will actually help you when you do the next move where you go like this, right? That will help you separate the cards without a stripper deck. So you can basically just go like this and do the same thing that you did, I'm dropping cards all over the place, with the last one, just like that. Then you can go ahead and take their card and just place it right on top. And then you can just not let them see that, just put it down. And then you can say, look, I have back to face cards, and then take the bottom portion and say I have face to back cards. And then you'll see there'll be a natural break in the cards, because you bent them earlier, where they separate. So you can go ahead and take that break and do the same thing where you say I have face to face cards, set them down, and then put this one on top, which has their card on it. And then that will do the same thing that you just did with the last one, where one's face down and it is their card. And that is how to do it with a normal deck of cards. The normal deck of cards I used in this video is my brand new deck of cards, the Tragic Royalty cards. They are actually blacklight reactive. If you want a link to these bicycle cards, link will be in the description, as well as the link to the tapered stripper deck, which is right here. So you can get both of those down in the description. If you like this video, please give this video a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. Hit those post notifications so you never miss a new video from me. And until next Saturday, stay magical.